Hi everyone. Uh, this video is regarding a very important announcement. This is something that I had been thinking for some time. Even when I was teaching at one of the institutes, academic institutes. So it's been a year since I left academics, and I've moved to industry, and now I'm exploring some other career opportunities. But I thought I'll experiment it. This is something I've been thinking about since I was teaching, is the idea of virtual classrooms. So can we provide very high quality technical education for free to anybody who is interested in the country? So you can be from any institute, but if you are interested and if you feel that you don't have good teachers, do you have an opportunity for a virtual classroom? Okay, so that's what I was exploring. And I was teaching at BITS at my institute for 6 years, and I've observed 7 batches of students. So what I generally notice is that students are most impressionable in their second and third years, mainly second year and maybe first year. Okay, so I wanted to offer some courses in their second and third year. So this is mainly targeting early undergraduate students. So in your second and third year is when you are looking out which field to explore. Okay, so sometimes you may have so this picture is taken from, just to give you an information, is one of my the institute where I was teaching. It's one of the classrooms. The classroom is empty because it was taken during the pandemic, and the idea is to actually be able to offer very high quality education for free for students across the country. So I don't generally like to use tier 1, 2, 3. You can be from an IIT, BITS, NITs, or any private institutions across the country. If you feel that you don't have a good teacher in one course, maybe can we create a live classroom? Okay, I mean, of course, there are already recorded courses that's available on the internet, but here I'm looking at a live classroom, and I believe that will have a bigger impact than a pre-recorded, lecture. So what I'm looking at is I'm targeting second and third year undergraduate students across the country, and I'm trying to see to offer some undergraduate courses, and like I'll the classroom structure will be similar to any other academic system in the country. So it will be a semester based course. I will pick one course and offer it for the whole semester. I'll talk about the details in a few moments, but I'm looking at second and third year undergraduate. So if you have already graduated from your undergraduate, if you're watching this video and you're fourth year and greater than fourth year of your undergrad, then I highly recommend you watch the recorded videos. I'll record the classroom lectures and I'll suggest you watch those recorded videos. And it'll be great if you can pass on this information to your juniors who are in their second year and first years. Okay, and one thing I often say, and this is something I'll probably tell them when I'm teaching them as well, is that it's been nearly 15 years since I finished my undergrad degree, and so it's very normal to expect failures, to not be sure of what you want to do with your life. It's very common. It's a continuous discovery. Sometimes you feel that you have discovered a field, you really enjoy doing what you're doing, but over time you realize, okay, maybe I can explore something else. Okay, so sometimes you jump into a field without unsure of whether you like it or not, and then you eventually end up liking it. Okay, you work hard enough and you will eventually end up liking a field. Okay, so that's the thought of offering virtual classes to any student across the country. The reason why I'm offering is this, that I'm also missing my teaching experience. I used to teach one undergraduate course and one graduate course every semester when I was teaching. It depends, but mostly I was always used to teach one undergraduate course, and I miss the the experience of teaching and training undergraduates. So every year at the institute where I was teaching, I used to at least produce 5 good undergraduates, and then inject them into the semiconductor ecosystem. So meaning I'll send them into mostly TI or in some good analog companies. Okay, so the hope is that through these virtual classrooms, I will be able to attract students who are really interested in the field, a larger number of students who are really interested in the field. So my hope uh, is that I'm able to at least produce, instead of 5 and 6 students per year, maybe 30, 40 or 50 students per year. That will be a good achievement. The reason is that I've been talking to a lot of industry folks, managers and hiring managers. Something that they've been noticing is that there is a dearth for semiconductor talent. Even the ones who are clearing the interviews and the ones they're hiring tend to be, their basics are not as strong. So that's why I said second and third year or your formative years, you are very young, you are impressionable, okay, you're very open to new ideas. So that's the time, if I feel that, teach the subject in a very interesting way, you can draw good talents into the field of semiconductors. Okay, so that's my thought, and here is a list of courses that I'm planning to offer. So I won't offer all these courses, but it's been, like as I said, it's been 15 years since I did my undergraduate, and so I've offered all these courses at different institutes where I was teaching, either fully or partly. I had offered most of these courses, from digital electronics to physics of semiconductor devices, signals, control systems, power electronics, analog electronics, analog communications, digital communications, information theory, and electromagnetic waves and fields. So all these courses are targeted at undergraduates. So the content will be at undergraduate level. So what you can expect is a virtual class that will be exactly similar to your regular classroom, but the quality of the content, what I'm going to present, will be some of the best in the world. That I'll guarantee. So that's something you can expect. The technical depth to which we will go in each subject, whether it's talking about the history of the field or the mathematics that we will go into, I'll try to really maintain a world-class standard in these courses. Okay, so mainly, again I'm repeating, is what I'm looking at is second and third year students. If you're already fourth year and above, you've graduated from your undergrad degree, I highly recommend you pass on this information to your juniors, okay, so that they can join in. The next question is how to join in. So what I'll do is every year, since I've been teaching in a semester-based institute, so we have 2 semesters. So I'll float a Google form in the month of July and in the month of December. I'll start the courses in the month of August, so this will be the fall semester, and in the month of January, the spring semester. And it'll go like a regular course. It'll be 40 to 50 lectures, and I'll conduct some tests. It'll be mostly through Google Forms. So this is something that whatever experience that I've gained as a teacher for 6 to 7 years when I was teaching at my at my academic institute where I was an assistant professor. So is that every lecture, if you give some interesting questions to think about, students tend to learn better. Okay, so I'll float a Google form in the month of July, and you get to fill it in. You have 1 month. So then I'll look at the form in the month of August, and then send you a Zoom invite. You have to fill in your email details, and I'll send you a Zoom invite, and it'll be like a regular semester course. I'll talk about the handout and what I'll discuss in the course. You'll have some small tests so that your basics get strengthened, and also it will help you in your regular coursework also. And if you're lucky, maybe you will be drawn into this field. Okay, so maybe one of these lectures help you how to think. Okay, so that's one more thing, just to stress. It's not about learning the material that's already present. You have very good books in all these fields. So what I'll focus on is how to think. Okay, how did the engineers solve different problems in all these fields? I mean, why are you doing this mathematics? If signal systems involves a lot of mathematics, why are we doing all that mathematics? And electromagnetic waves and fields also involves a lot of mathematics. Why did we even, as engineers, why do we even need to do all those mathematics? Okay, how does it correlate to practical applications? So these are the things that I'll try to discuss in all these courses. Okay, and this is a feedback I had received from TI and other companies as well, is that when I used to send my students for interviews there, the feedback very said, of course, the quality of students they were very happy with the quality of students that we were sending. But at the same time, the feedback that I received was many universities, even IITs, including IITs, the quality of students, the basics were not very strong for undergraduates. They felt that when they were interviewing. And sometimes they felt students who could clear interviews, when they were hired, they didn't meet the standards that they were looking for. Okay, so and I believe all those things can be fixed if your basics are laid, if your basics are laid well, your foundations are laid well. So that's the intention. So my hope is that I'll once I float this form, so the class strength, if I can get a class strength of 100 to 200 students. See, when I was teaching at one institute, I was able to draw the attention of some very motivated students from one institute. Here the hope is that since it's a virtual classroom, students can join from any university across the country. Probably the number of students that I can influence will be larger. Okay, and then I can inject those students into the semiconductor ecosystem, which really needs highly talented, skilled engineers. Okay, so that's the intention, and I'll float which course I'm going to offer that semester. I'll float all that information in the month of July on my YouTube page itself, and you can fill it in. The only problem which I'm worried about is how to reach the right undergraduates who are genuinely looking for good content in their universities, in their colleges. Okay, so my hope is to tap into those talent pool that's already existing in the country. So sometimes I feel this is something that I've seen even in my batch. Some guys who I felt were very intelligent, but they were not, properly directed, or they didn't develop an interest in a field. So they just ended up picking some random job. It eventually goes like that. But if you really develop into an interest in a field, and then spend some time mastering that subject, and then become a good engineer, you'll enjoy for the rest of your life. You'll have a very satisfying life, because you'll definitely do well in your career, and so you'll definitely have a very satisfying life for a very long time. Okay, so that's why it's very important, especially your earlier undergraduate years are very important to lay your basics, to get your basics very strong. Okay, so that's what the intention of these courses is. I'm hoping I'll see how it goes. If I'm able to draw the right amount of students, and then I'm able to actually produce. How I measure success is when I'm able to see at least 30-40 engineers over a span of 2 to 3 years, and see what kind of outcomes they produce. Okay, it's not just JEE entrance exams, right? You just get into it, then that's success. But here the success is measured as the impact that the engineers make in those industries. They have to go on, build some good products, make an impact. So then that, okay, whatever the teaching that I had made has had an impact. Okay, so that's how I see it, and I'm hoping to have to meet some very good motivated students. And if usually I'll offer 2 courses per batch, and it can be any of, don't worry about specific topic. Am I teaching you information theory, or it doesn't matter. What matters is how you should think, how you think. So that's what I'll focus on. Given a problem, how you think, how do you achieve, or how do you approach solving a problem. That's the skill set I'm looking at in teaching the students. So don't worry about the course. Some semesters I might offer a course which you may not be looking forward to, but it doesn't matter. If that course is there in your semester, I'd recommend you take it. It will definitely help you for your coursework as well. And also, if you're interested, you can be pulled into that field. So that's it. If it becomes, if I feel that I'm able to really draw in students, if it becomes a success, then I'll extend it to graduate students. Okay, so I'll offer courses on, I'm already offering some courses on circuit design, but I'll make it more streamlined, and then I'll properly offer it like a master's level course. So then I can open it up for across the world, anywhere from the world. If you're interested and you like what I'm presenting, you can take it up. Okay. Any graduate level course on analog IC design, digital IC design, RF design. So that's the long term plan. But right now I'll start with undergraduate courses. So because one obvious, I mean, simple reason is that I've already taught most of these courses. I have materials with me, and so I don't need any preparation for teaching these courses. Okay. And also secondly, I'm really missing that. And every year I used to at least train 5 to 6 students, and I've been doing it till last year. So this year I'm not sending any students to industry, so I felt okay, something is missing, so maybe I can float this virtually. I don't need to be inside a university now. Okay. So 5 years ago this may not have been possible, but now it is. So technology enables us to do that. So I'm trying to make the best use of it. So let's see how it goes. If it goes well, I will continue. Otherwise, I may stop it after 2 3 course offerings. Okay. Okay, thank you, and please pass the information to your junior batches. If you're already in your final years, please, it will be great help for your juniors. Okay. And because you see what happened to you, um, you know, definitely you must realize by now that second and third years are the formative years. If you meet good teachers or get exposed to good material, you will definitely, that will shape up your career itself. Okay. So I'm saying this because I've observed 7 batches of students, and this is something that I've observed. It's okay, sometimes you make mistakes, and it's very common. Sometimes you choose a career and you don't really like it after some time, so you can always switch at a later stage. All those things I'll talk about once once I have a regular classroom. I give all this feedback to my students, suggestions to my students. Okay. So hoping to see a good batch of students, and I'm hoping to train more and more highly skilled engineers and inject them into the semiconductor ecosystem. Okay. Thank you.